So I played Anime Warframe, Duet Night Abyss. I streamed it live for 14 hours. Yeah, I know. I really wanted this particular character for obvious reasons, and she's voiced by Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate. And that made her even more appealing. And she's got electric powers. I like electric powers. So after this long stream, that begs the question, hey Nightmare, is this game something that will be a direct competitor to Warframe?
No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
Don't worry, I'll go over why. The only direct competitor to Warframe was The First Descendant, and look at what happened to that game. Yeah, Nexon completely Amber Hearded the game to the ground, and they also started doing AI ads.
Collaboration with Nier Automata.
Ba 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 ba. Anyway, we'll do it Night Abyss challenge DE, not directly. I'm sure DE will implement something that DNA has that will benefit Warframe, but nothing special stands out in DNA that actually has substance or game-changing or evolutionary mechanics or ideas that will siphon in people who already have a mentally ill obsession with Warframe. Now, why would someone even think to call DNA the Anime Warframe? I will list the things that this game has that yoinked from Warframe. I'm going to use some terminology, of course, that will make sense for both parties. There's bullet jumping. Yeah, it's not that great. I'll get to this in more detail later. Modding your character and weapons with mods called demon wedges. And yes, an aura mod exists that reduces the capacity when you equip it, but you have to reach a certain level with your character before you can even access the aura mod. Upgrading these demon wedges with this red resource, which is the endo equivalent. Demon wedges have a polarity, and you can reduce the capacity of these demon wedges with a forma equivalent. There's the forge, where you craft resources, weapons, etc. But I will say, I do like the crafting time and tracking of resources in this game. It gives a really nice quality of life that Warframe really needs. Click the resource and it takes you where the item drops, and you have the crafting requirement tree. And rushing the craft doesn't require premium currency, but another farmable resource. Special tickets are pretty much relics. Well, you use them to buy the relics for the specific thing you need, and relics contain a potential randomized piece of gear, resource, or reward accessed by completing fissures. And in DNA, fissures are covert commissions. There's an arsenal, which is the armory, where you pick your different characters and pair them up with the two weapon classes, melee and gun. And the game has Warframe-like missions, like excavation, hijack. Seriously, you guys took one of the most useless missions in Warframe and didn't even improve on it? Rescue, extermination, sabotage, survival, capture, and they even added defense and made it worse. Some of the characters have similarities to Warframes, like the Hydroid Girl, Titania, Mesa, and this guy who's like Sevagoth. You get the idea. There's fashion framing, even with ephemeras. Oh yeah, and they have the Ignis Wraith, Prime. Now let's get down to what the game actually is. Duet Night Abyss fills a weird niche where people who play Warframe but like anime games but don't want to play a gacha game. Oh yeah, Duet Night Abyss used to be a gacha game, and parts of its former model still exists when it comes to upgrading your character. We'll get to that in the monetization section. The DNA is a poor man's Wuthering Waves. Warframe beats Pokemon with anime titties. The gunplay in this game is, how do I put it in a way that doesn't offend people? Absolute dog shit. That's fair, right? Honestly, the guns in this game just do not feel like guns. They're totally lacking in weight, feedback, and satisfying reaction. It's like you're making a gun out of your hand and going pew, 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 pew. But the real issue is the control scheme.
There's like lag in between. What is that? Do you see this? Why is it doing that? Why is it doing this? And aim? I think, is that it? I think that's the problem, right? Lock and aim. I think I know the issue. So right now it's smoother if I hold it down, right? So never let go of the aim. Yeah, exactly. I'm shooting constantly, which is still stupid.
The sensitivity settings clearly weren't designed with actual shooting in mind. Even when you turn off aim assist and aim locking, there's this frustrating random magnetism that makes your aim sticky, sometimes super strong, sometimes barely there. It generally feels like the controls are fighting against you. The shooting mechanic itself is weird too. Instead of the standard ADS and hip fire option, it's just one button that snaps your character into a shooting state. This transition is clunky. Your quick actions from melee melee and ability casting goes into this slow state where you shoot your gun. And there's this noticeable animation delay coming out of your shooting camera back to your regular camera. And these two camera controls seem to constantly conflict, resulting in a horrible off-putting delayed response between the two separate sensitivity settings. So yeah, gunplay is dog shit. At this point, I just pretty much use them as a stat stick or just wait for a character that actually scales well with guns, and I guess I could use them then. Melee, however, is actually pretty good, and all the different melee archetypes have an identity and feel better to use than the guns. They also have Blood Rush in this game. But the melees are not as good as other anime games like Wuthering Waves. But guys, just know that DNA is still better than Blue Protocol. Let's just get that out of the way real quick, for those anyone thinking to ask. To be 100 with you guys, I don't want to recommend anyone a gacha game, but damn, if you want satisfying combat in an anime game, just go play Wuthering Waves at this point. Now the movement is trying to copy Warframe with the bullet jump, but doesn't understand the nuance of it all. The movement is jank and your jumps just don't carry momentum and you're just floaty for no reason. Now when you look at Warframe's movements, you can do a lot more. Dodge rolls that transition into slides that can transition into bullet jumps. You have wall runs, you have the Spider-Man wall latch, etc, etc. Now, enemy AI is, how do I say it, one-to-one with Warframe, stupid and brainless, and is zero threat. They're either way too tanky or do more damage to you because they're higher level. So I guess I can't really say much there. But the variety and designs just feel generic and bland. Another offender to this game is the world and environment. Frankly, this game's world has zero identity. It feels like stuff was just slapped all over the place to exist with no genuine thought put behind it. The wildlife and enemies are the biggest offenders. They straight up do not match the environment. The animals and mobs make no fucking sense being where they are. There's no ecological reason for their existence in that spot. From my point of view, it's clearly a half-assed effort. Ultimately, it just comes across as your average run-of-the-mill anime-looking ass game with no depth. And the deers can moonwalk. Since this game is running on Unreal Engine, it's probably wise to brace yourself for the usual launch issues: memory leaks and poor optimization. Honestly, I have no idea why this is always a problem, but here we are. Co-op play is currently a laggy and buggy mess. While this is kind of expected for a new launch, when the servers are undoubtedly getting fried, you're generally better off sticking to solo play until they sort out these stability problems. Now, the worst thing about this game, and needs to be deleted immediately, like this is the main thing I would say that needs to be fixed before anything else.
Stop this! Holy shit. I don't want to do this. Let me just fucking read the bullshit. Oh my god. Unequip. Jesus.
Force locked tutorials, where the game forces you to only press that button they want you to press and force you into an activity or force you into auto-installing your demon wedges. A message to all developers: don't fucking do this. The game literally is treating you like a retard. Seriously, I was legit crashing out, and kind of still am, about this particular issue. Alright, now the final bit, the monetization and the farming of characters and weapons. Because this game used to be a gacha, there's a constellation and refinement system for your characters and weapons. Now for those who didn't get that, I'm using Genshin Impact terms. Essentially, constellations are unlockable passives for any character. They dramatically increase a character's effectiveness, damage output, or utility. To unlock these passives, it requires you to get another copy of that same exact character. In gacha, this of course is usually reserved for the whales to super min-max their characters and can cost up to thousands of dollars. In DNA, it costs $70 of real money to unlock one copy of a character, which is technically significantly cheaper than a gacha. However, you don't have to spend money. You can farm pieces of these characters called thoughts. I know it sounds stupid, bear with me. Collecting 30 thoughts unlocks the character, and if you already own the character, you unlock their intron, aka constellation. But hey, guess what? You can actually get a discount if you've accumulated some thoughts. The same process goes for the weapons. Instead of 7 copies, you need 6. However, you don't need thoughts, you need several other weapon materials to craft the weapon, which actually takes longer to farm than the character because of all the different resources and crafting times. I myself haven't spent a single dime on this game, and nor do I feel like I need to or have to at this point. Probably when they release a cool skin or a booba skin, who knows. So my final thoughts of the game. For now, it doesn't really have an identity. Just yet. Maybe in due time. It's trying to be something it's not. It has okay looking characters, nothing that really stands out except the boob sizes. It's an okay game. It's not a bad game, but it's not a good game either. It's just that decent game to play on the side. And yeah, I mean, if you guys are enjoying the game, that's all that matters. Who cares what some guy on the internet says? This is just my experience and how I perceived everything. I'll continue to play and stream this, because for now, it's an anime game that's not a gacha, but has some similar things to another game that I cover. Anyway, folks, that has been it for me. I do hope you've enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more content, streams, and so much more. Do it for the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.